What's going on today, guys? I apologize, I haven't been uploading videos recently. I have been down with a terrible, nasty cold. I was so bad this week, I really just couldn't upload because I would sound really bad. But I'm getting my voice back. I'm a little bit congested, I apologize. But I'm going to talk about Ant-Man because I promised you I would. And this is one of those few 2015 movies that I have to review. So the basic plot of Ant-Man is a man named Scott Lang who was recently in prison is back. He's trying to reconnect with his daughter, and he is given the chance of redemption by a man named Hank Pym, and gives him a suit where he can transform into a tiny little man, Ant-Man. And he has the power to also control ants telepathically and to be able to use them to his advantage to fight crime. Now, if you guys should know one thing about me is that I really enjoy the Marvel movies. I do. And I know many people like to say, oh, you enjoy the mainstream movies. No, I enjoy a lot of classic movies. I own a lot of classic movies. But now today, the Marvel movies are the big action movies that really get us pumped. I have an Avengers Age of Ultron poster right here. I have a couple other Avengers posters in my house. The studio has been known for taking characters that we barely know about and made a kick-ass summer blockbuster with Guardians of the Galaxy. That was one of my favorite movies of 2014, and I love that movie. So the idea of them taking another character that's, I think, even more unknown, and a character that people are going to be like, well, we don't know about this, and making him into a movie, that excited me. My thoughts on it are not going to be as positive as I hoped they would have been. I, for one, really just didn't like this movie a lot, and I think there are a lot of reasons why, but it feels like a mess of a movie. Because I know Edgar Wright, who is one of my favorite directors, who made The World's End, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. This is a director that usually makes visual gags very exciting, quick, but it's the type of edits where you're like, you can really get into it even though it's quick. And I could see his vision in a lot of the scenes where Michael Pena is telling those jokes, and we'll talk about that later. But for a cohesive story, it just feels like there are too many movies into one. One of them feels like a caper Ocean's 11 movie. Another one feels like a crime ring, like Italian Job. And another one is the movie that I actually wanted to see. It's like three movies molded into one, and two of them I didn't want to see. Now let me get the positives out of the way. I think that Paul Rudd was a very good choice for Scott Lang. The guy never ages, so you can just tell. But I honestly think that Paul Rudd did a very good job adding his comedic roots, because you could tell that a lot of the jokes that he made were very improvised. I don't really think they could have been scripted, which made it really funny. And also, I like the fact that he was smarter than I thought he was, because he looked kind of like an idiot in the trailers, but in the movie, he's a smart guy. And a lot of the sight gags are really funny. They really stick with you, and I think that's Edgar Wright's vision that was infused with that. I also like Michael Douglas in this movie. He offered a lot of really cool stuff. He was awesome. Hank Pym is the original Ant-Man. Evangeline Lilly's passable. You know, I don't think that she is terrific in almost any of the roles I've seen her in, but I do think that she offers some good to this movie. I really like the CGI. It really goes well with the story. Marvel really knows how to infuse CGI really well, like in Guardians of the Galaxy. And I also think that the action scenes in the last act of the movie are very well put together. They're very strong, very cohesive, and they work very well with the story. But there were so many things that I wanted this movie to be that it wasn't, that it created such a big issue. Because I didn't really like the movies go for the jokes with the Michael Pena stuff. That stuff, for me, really dumbed down the movie. I really didn't want to see it. If I wanted to watch Michael Pena jokes, I would watch another movie. And they could have made another movie singularly about those, because I would watch that movie. Now, understand, they were funny, but they had no place in this movie for me. They just felt like they were there to make Michael Pena funny, even though he is. I just didn't think it worked really well with the story. And also, they want to get him back into crime, and all this stuff just doesn't really mix and mishmash well with the story I think we all really wanted to see. But the absolute worst thing about this movie is its villain. Now guys, look, you know that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is known for not having the best villains in the world. Like Jeff Bridges, whoever the hell the guy was from Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. I think Loki is the true compelling villain. But this guy, I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but let me just state this right now. When this character was introduced, I knew the second he started talking, this guy's the villain. I would rather the villain have been shrouded in secrecy rather than just really up front, and it just felt very obvious. And he just felt like this rehashed villain who just, you know, wants to blow up stuff, and it's not really that compelling anymore, guys. The thing that was once the idea about world domination that seemed cool back then just isn't really cool today. You need to make more compelling villains. That is the biggest issue with Marvel movies, in my opinion, is that they haven't made a truly compelling villain other than Loki. Now, there are two specific things in the movie that I thought were funny. One of them I don't want to tell you because I like the fact that I didn't know about it when I watched the movie because I don't watch any of the trailers. But the other thing is they talk about, well, we should call the Avengers, which is obviously the thing that they should have done because in previous other Marvel movies, they should have called the Avengers for almost everything. But they go into an explanation of why they can't do that, and that was hilarious. Overall, though, I just really don't think it holds up to a great movie. Ant-Man was a very disappointing movie for me, and I know a lot of people liked it because it was cool to see a character that they didn't really know about being transformed. But for me, the movie I wanted to see was really not the whole thing. There was so much more that just didn't really need to be there. There could have been one cohesive story, but there were so many subplots that were trying to infuse itself with the main story that it became very incoherent and just dumb for me. If you guys have a different opinion, that's great. I love people that have different opinions because films are subjective, and for me, I just didn't really like this movie. So guys, I'm gonna give Ant-Man a C+. I do think that there is some entertainment in this movie. I just don't think that it was enough. It just wasn't enough. There wasn't enough substance. What did you guys think about Ant-Man? Did you like it? Did you hate it? You're somewhere in the middle? Well, I'd love to hear your comments. Just put them in the comment section below. And guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned.